What's up, guys? Today we've got the Buick in the booth, Buick 74 Buick Electra. We are going to be spraying some DP90 on this and followed by 2050. Same as the rest of the car. This car, usually we strip the lead out of the seams. This car we didn't. This is a super clean car. Generally along the edge of the lead we find rust and things like that. And we didn't find much of that on this. There was a little bit starting from here that we ground out. We got that blasted, cleaned up to where I'm comfortable with the way this lead looks. We did grind into it a couple spots. There was little pits in the lead, ground them out a little bit, and that's fine for this. We're gonna skim this whole car anyway, so those little divots in the lead are not the end of the world. We just are looking for super clean bare metal. And as you can see, this car is actually very nice. There was very minimal rust on this car, really no holes as far as rust goes. There was a little bit of previous repair work that was not up to par, but we got that straightened out and got her all stripped down. This is an 80 grit, been bare metal, 80 grit. Nothing finer than 80 on bare metal. We're gonna wipe this down with acetone and put some DP90 on it. And after we get our 90 on, we're gonna let it sit for at least 6 hours, generally 6 to 8 hours, or an overnight dry, as they say. And then we're gonna come in, scuff it with a red Scotch-Brite and tack it off and go to 2050. And then next week, this will go together for body work, panel to panel. And the Chevelle will be in here. Today's Friday, so we're probably looking at maybe Tuesday getting the Chevelle in here for its second prime. Now we've got Dplv 90 down on the car. This has been sitting for roughly 9 hours now. I took the GTX home, and while I was gone, Brad put the Dplv down on this. So now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start getting ready for 2050. So just like on every other car and all the other videos, we're gonna just take a red Scotch-Brite, lightly scuff this Dplv up, we'll tack it off, go to 2050. There we go, we've got a light scuff on it. Now we're gonna go to 2050. I'm using a Sado 100B with a 1.7. For 2050, we're gonna do 2 coats, 2050 over the Dplv. We're gonna let this 2050 flash roughly 20 minutes between, if I was doing 3 coats, between second and third coat, I'd probably let it flash half hour. 2050 is real thick, it's real slow, it needs time. If you don't give it time, you come in here and pound it on coat after coat like it's a urethane, you'll probably get pinholes in the 2050 when you're blocking it, and that's from solvent popping. Being the 2050 is so thick, it won't actually pop. It'll stay in the product, and then when you start blocking into it, you'll have a bunch of little water bubbles in there, solvent bubbles in there. So, and you can fix it. You can glaze them all shut, or you can just take your time when you're priming. Don't put too much on too fast. There we have it, 2 coats 2050 over Dplv, and we are only putting the 2050 on the outer skins of the car. As you can can see I didn't really spray the jam. There's a little overspray from spraying the panel. But we don't need 2050 in the jams. We don't need the build in the jams. We need the build so that when we go to do panel to panel and start blocking this car, basically we're gonna start with, when we skim the sides, the roof is actually very nice, but when we skim the sides to do panel to panel, we're gonna basically GA the whole sides with 80 and skim the entire side. Quarter, door fender, block it all as one. But the roof, I don't think it's gonna need really any filler. We're gonna go at 150 and block that out, and that's probably gonna be really nice. This car is really nice. Probably the cleanest old car that I've ever worked on. Just no rust. Like it's beautiful. So, I mean, you can see these panels don't really have that much damage. We may not end up skimming the whole panel. We might just only skim our panel to panel areas. Have to see what we got when we start blocking.